stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
This is ATN Global News at 9. First, the headlines. Rivers Police nab one chance syndicate. Peter Obi pays private visits to Atiku Lamido. NLC demands reversal of power sector privatization. Tinubu swears in 2 NPCs. CBN says interest rates will remain high. Putin sacked Russian defense minister. NFF unveils Finity Church in Abuja. And now the news in details. Rivers State Police Command has recently made significant strides in the fight against crimes in the state with the apprehension of a gang specializing in armed robbery and kidnapping on flyovers. This group, notorious for preying on unsuspecting victims, use a one-chance tactic, has been a growing concern for authorities and residents of the state. The gang, consisting of 4 individuals, operatives under the guise of passengers in a taxi, targeting victims on flyovers. The modus operandi involves brandishing weapons such as a locally made pistol and daggers to intimidate victims before robbing them of their possessions. The gang's criminal activities commenced in October 2023 when their leader, Smart Obili, currently at large, initiated the one-chance scheme with Michael Jashan, a native of Ikolinem, Ikot Okon in Esemudim local government area. Michael, aged 27, agreed to use his vehicle for these operations after a meeting over beer bottles where the details were discussed. Insikaki Banga was introduced by Michael, having arrived in Port Harcourt from Akwa Ibom State. Insikak, described as a fearless operator, joined the gang alongside Peace Paul, aged 22, who was informed by Michael that he would be sending her money frequently for withdrawal. A statement by SP Grace Iringe Koko, Police Public Relations Officer, said the Commissioner of Police CPO Latunji Rewandisu urged residents to report suspicious activities promptly, emphasizing the police's commitment to ensuring public safety and combating criminal elements in Rivers State. Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has uncovered 2 illegal bunkering sites in Rivers. NSCDC spokesperson TSC Babawale Afolabi, in a statement on Monday, disclosed that the sites were located at Odagwa Owaza Riverside boundaries of Rivers and Abia, while the other was at Iche local government area of Rivers State. The spokesperson stated that the Commandant General's Special Intelligence Squad discovered the illegal connections following intelligence report. According to him, some of the exhibits recovered were 1 yellow color Robin EY20 pumping machine, blue color heavy-duty hoses, over 5,000 liters of locally refined petroleum products in cellophane bags and reservoir. Also recovered were about 10,000 liters of kerosene AGO stored in a cooking oven, 2 shovels and spades, buckets, and 4 flash headlights. Elders in Rivers State, political leaders and stakeholders visited the Rivers State Assembly quarters, which also house the hallowed chambers of the Rivers State House of Assembly, led by Right Honorable Martins Amewuli, to inspect the facility, following an unlawful invasion of the Assembly quarters by the Governor of Rivers State and threats to demolish buildings in the area. Speaker Right Honorable Martins Amewule, in the company of other lawmakers and stakeholders in the state, led the entourage to see how the governor, with some of his men and supporters, broke into the assembly quarters, damaging the gate and scaling through the fence.
And they gained forceful entry into the Rivers State House of Assembly quarters. By the special grace of God, this house has deliberated on this issue on the floor of the House, and we have written an official letter to the Inspector General of Police informing him that personnel of the Nigeria Police joined the governor and were also written to the Director General of the Department of State Security, also informing them of what transpired here, where the governor and his team.
Come back, sir. Please come back, sir.
We have,
Please, sir, come back, sir.
because of the security situation, we had to buy another chain to lock it. But this is, the padlock used to be here originally. He broke this one. From the outside, his men, they scaled the fence, destroyed this place, and the governor forced himself inside.
Martin Samewile further noted that the chambers is the best in the sub-African region and therefore does not need any renovations, adding that the assembly had never written to the governor for any form of repairs of the assembly quarters.
Assembly quarters built for members of the River State House of Assembly, and by virtue of the Constitution and all known laws of River State, this facility is now the property of the River State House of Assembly. And by the special grace of God, members are living in all the buildings with their families, wives, children. They are all in their various quarters as we speak. And by the grace of God, we have also brought in experts, engineers, and there is certainly nothing wrong with this structure. This structure is fully in use, fully functional, and all the experts that the Riverside Assembly has employed have confirmed to us that this building is one of the best in the entire West Africa. In the entire West Africa. And like we all know, this building was constructed by the former Governor of Rivers State, His Excellency Ezewike. It was commissioned in August 2022 by the current Chief of Staff to Mr. President and the then Speaker. We didn't write to the Governor, we didn't invite him, we didn't ask him for help, and we don't need his help. We don't need his intervention in any way. As far as we are concerned, any attempt to talk about reconstruction or demolition is clearly an assault on.
Speaking, the APC Caretaker Committee Chairman in Rivers State, Sir Tony Okocha, stated that Governor Fubara accused the state governor of working against the success of President Bola Tinubu during the past 2023 presidential election in Nigeria.
It is clear to me and to Rivers people, and I want to say to Nigerians, that the governor voted in his native village called Opobo, and the records there show that the governor voted against Mr. President. Let him come out and deny that he voted for Mr. President, and let him show proof. He voted against Mr. President, but what you see them do today is to latch on the back of Mr. President and say, we are supporting Mr. President. How do you support the man that you voted against? The same man who said he voted for the president is the same man who is machinating, sponsoring, funding people to go to court to challenge Mr. President's authority.
Recall that Governor Fubara had inspected the Rivers State Assembly quarters with a view for possible renovation. Analysts have stated that Governor Fubara's recent urgent visit to the House of Assembly quarters is a disregard to the Martin Samewile-led faction of the Assembly. Ojo spoke while he appeared on ATN Open Conversation live program.
Because the governor has not really pronounced that he was going to demolish the house. And in some quarters, some people were saying the governor should have informed the House of Assembly. How can the governor inform the House of Assembly? He do not even recognize their existence. And in the normal sense of it,
Julius Berger constructed that building, and then we should call the engineers of Julius Berger to question. For 2 years, you took Rivers money, licenses should be withdrawn. If at this stage, that building has any structural defects, has anything to do, let them show to the world what was the lifespan before reconstruction or before renovation or before anything can be done. That is one. Two, did they write to the governor?
Daniel Momo on his part urged the government to call on the contractors of Rivers Assembly quarters to question should there be any defect in the facility.
Julius Berger constructed that building, and then we should call the engineers of Julius Berger to question. For 2 years, you took Rivers money, licenses should be withdrawn. If at this stage, that building has any structural defects, has anything to do, Let them show to the world what was the lifespan before reconstruction or before renovation or before anything can be done. That is one. Two, did they write to the governor?
Recall that the governor of Obara had paid an unscheduled visit to the River State House of Assembly quarters, arousing many reactions to the move for possible renovation. Women Worship Conference held at the Gateway International Church, Port Harcourt, had converge of women in business, health, including religious leaders. The Women Conference is aimed at deliberating on vital issues as related to the family business, the church, and the society at large, with the theme, Shine the Light, with attendees from both the business and religious spheres. Highlights of the Women Conference include symposiums, forums, reality talks, questions and answers segments, worship and praises, including exhortation in a bid to enhance women's approach towards a fast-paced world. Panel discussions, including questions and answers, addressed issues that concern creativity, homekeeping, and faith in God.
This thing about a lot of people where they feel better about themselves when they put others down. And you see, at the root of that, that's a mental disorder. People like that are not very well. It's not until you're stripped naked and you're walking on the street that you say you are not well. Some people are really not well because if you have the need to put someone down before you feel good about yourself, there's something wrong with you that you need to address.
To building a sustainable brand with consistency and then not going back. And then if there were times where you quit or you felt like giving up, what did you do? How did you come back and why did you keep pushing?
Okay, first of all, what's your vision behind the brand that you want to build? It's very, very important. And what you're giving out, is it valuable? Because it's not even about building the brand. I gave out something valuable. Because I'm not going to assure you that the road is going to be rosy or everything is going to go as planned. But there's something that this is what I want to do, this is my vision, this is my mission. You come and make me advertise it. Oh no, I do not advertise this particular stuff. Like you cannot see me sitting down and talking about, that's me, that's my mission, that's my vision. Do you get? You can find another influencer that can do that for me. So I know what I stand for. So it's very easy for me. There are some kind of jobs that people cannot bring to me. Why? Because I've publicly, displayed what I stand for. Now, building a brand and staying consistent. There are times, you're doing stuff, you're just going and going and going. There must be some kind of innovative idea that was always come to you. Because when I started, after a few years, a lot of people started doing what I was doing.
First of all, we are here to worship God, so I'm here to give it all, to pour my heart to Him, and also as a panelist, also have here to talk to the young ones, how to align their lives, make sure that they are living that pure life God expects us to live while we are still here, but you also have that mindset that you are a Christian and you sure that your life aligns as a Christian.
This event is the Women Worship Conference. Every year, Gist Retina hosts a specific, spectacular, phenomenal event. So last year, 2023, it was Tech Plus Conference that gathered creatives in the tech, education, creative and entertainment industry, plus other industries together. And this time around, we're bringing women to onboarding and ease themselves up in the presence of God to share Normally, they come to me to share the challenges as a gist with Tina there. They come to share an onboarding with me. So this time, I want them to share an onboarding with God in His presence. Ease it up, fill it up, enjoy Jesus Christ, and then while on that, you would go with knowledge and understanding, which is why we made it a conference, not just a worship program. So you would go with the knowledge and understanding. The light, that's the theme of the program, shine the light. So the light is the knowledge you get, and you go shine it out there. And
Always happy when they say, let's go to the house of the Lord. So it's always an opportunity for me to give reference to God, and that's what I'm here to do, just to worship and enjoy myself. Always happy when they say, let's go to the house of the Lord. So it's always an opportunity for me to give reference to God, and that's what I'm here to do, just to worship and enjoy myself.
The Women Worship Conference right here. We are in the city of Port Harcourt. We are holding it down right at Gateway International Church. Here we'll be talking a whole lot about women, of course, their roles in the society, their endeavors, and how much they have contributed to the success of the world so far. Stay right here. My name is OT Atlantic Television.
Organized labor comprising members of the Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress staged a protest at the headquarters of the electricity distribution companies in Jos, Ibadan, and Port Harcourt. The protest is in compliance with organized labor leadership's directive over the recent hike in electricity tariff. The leadership of NLC and TUC were on ground at the different venues of the protest to ensure compliance. The union members are joining their colleagues across the country to picket offices of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and the electricity distribution companies across the country to demand reversal of the tariff increase. In Jos, the capital of Plateau State, the workers blocked the Jos Electricity Distribution Company along Amadu Bello Way. The action by the labor unions prevented workers of the distribution company from gaining access to their offices. The union members in Ibadan were not also left out in the protest as they blocked the office of the Ibadan Electricity Distribution Company in the state capital. NLC chairman in Oyo State, Comrade Kayode Martins, while addressing the press at the premises of IBEDC, said, "Enough is enough, as Nigerians have had to cope with backlash of economic policies of the President Bola Tinubu administration." The unions asked the federal government to rescind its decision over electricity tariff hike and other policies that would not serve Nigerians well. Similarly, members of the NLC and TUC have shut down the headquarters of Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company in Port Harcourt, the Rivers State capital. Speaking to Newsman, NLC chairman in Rivers State, Alex Agwanwo, said, "The recent hike is discriminatory and will further impoverish Nigerians." Police in Eket, Akwa Ibom have assured that public facility vandalism would be completely tackled in the town and its environs. The divisional police officer, SP Felix Ekpodom, stated this shortly after visiting a vandalized water fountain at Odom Emmanuel Boulevard in Atabong, Eket town. Ekpodom said that the police became aware of the incident after the visit of Governor Umar Eno to Eket on May 3rd. The DPO said that it was wrong to steal or vandalize public facilities, saying those who do so are agents of underdevelopment. Ekpodom urged residents of Eket to support with credible information to tackle the ugly menace. Member of the Board of Trustees of the main opposition People's Democratic Party, Charles Idahosa, has joined All Progressive Congress in Edo State. Idahosa, who is an ally of Governor Godwin Obaseki, resigned his membership of PDP on April 29. He revealed that his greatest regret while in PDP was not allowing Obaseki to resign 3 times as Edo governor when he opened up to him, Idahosa, in his Benin residence, that he was tired of governing the hitherto volatile state. He said he encouraged him to continue as Edo governor while describing power as an intoxicant. Idahosa, a former senior political advisor to the former Edo governor, Senator Adams Oshomole, spoke at his private residence off Airport Road, Benin, while being issued APC's membership card by the party's chairman in Ihonwode local government area of Benin Kingdom, Osagemwere Osawe. The colorful ceremony was witnessed by former Edo Deputy Governor Dr. Pius Odubu, the national women leader of APC, Dr. Mary Alile, and her husband Pius Alile, chieftain of APC, as well as Edo Secretary of APC, Lawrence Oka, and many other chieftains of the party, whose teeming supporters were drumming, singing, and dancing. Independent National Electoral Commission has announced that it will commence the continuous voter registration exercise in the Edo and Ondo states to enable eligible citizens who are not registered to do so ahead of the governorship elections. Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu disclosed this on Monday in Abuja at the second regular quarterly consultative meeting with political parties. The INEC boss says the exercise will take place in 192 ward registration centers in Edo State and 203 centers in Ondo State, in addition with state offices in Benin City and Akure, making a total of 397 walk-in registration centers in the two states. He says the CVR in Edo and Ondo State will take place simultaneously from Monday 27 May 2024 to Wednesday 5th June 2024 from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily, including the weekend, but warned persons who have already registered to stay away as double registration is illegal. In his response, the chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council, Yusuf Dantale, decried the spate of electoral offences in the country. He, however, advised that offenders of electoral process must be duly punished to serve as a deterrent to others in order to build trust and integrity in the electoral process. Governor Alex Oti has restated the state government's resolve to reach the popular cattle market at Lokbanta, Umuneochi local government area of criminals, terrorizing traders, their customers, and people around the vicinity, including commuters on the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway. Oti, who spoke during an unshadowed visit to the market, also restated the position of the state government to make the market non-residential. The governor, who said his administration was ready to protect and support legitimate traders in the market, insisted that government would no longer allow anyone to live inside the market. He decried the unsanitary condition of the market and admonished the traders on the need to clean up their environment. Imo State chapters of the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress on Monday shut down the office of the Enugu Electricity Distribution Company over hike in electricity tariff. Others affected by the picketing were the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and Distribution Companies DISCOs. Addressing newsmen in Owerri, the NLC chairman, Comrade Uche Chigamezu Nwigwe, said they had to take action against the EEDC and others because of the untold pains of the residents of the state are currently passing through as a result of the increase in electricity tariff. Speaking also, the chairman, Imo State chapter of TUC, Comrade Charles Amalu, was of the view that the consumption of Imo State is 120 megawatts, but we regret that DISCOS is providing between 12 and 15 megawatts. Commissioner of Police Inage Itam has assumed duty as the 34th Commissioner of Police of the Anambra State Police Command. A statement by the command on Monday said the CP resumed duty on Monday. The posting of CP Itam by the Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, follows the statutory retirement of bachelor's degrees in Sociology and Anthropology from the University of Calabar and a master's degree. The Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have called on the federal government to reconsider going back to the old order, saying that privatization of electricity companies has failed Nigerians. The Anambra State chairman of the two bodies, Comrades Humphrey Nwafo and Chris Obuna, spoke Monday, May 13, at the offices of the Nigeria Electricity Regulations Commission and the Enugu Electricity Development Company in Awka, the state capital. The Labour leaders led their members to picket the EEDC and NERC officers over the hike in electricity, describing the development as shameful. They marched from their office in Awka to the electricity companies with the placards with different inscriptions. While addressing members said the idea of incrementing electricity tariffs should stop, adding that people were dying of hunger. You are watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe.
Welcome back. This is the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. Festus Keyamo, Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, has received the Air France KLM team, urging the airline to offer low-priced ticket fares to Nigerians. This is contained in a statement signed by Tunde Moshood, Special Advisor to the Minister on Media and Communications, on Monday in Lagos. According to Moshood, the team was led by the country manager Christian Quantin, Key Account Manager Commercial Division Antonia Umuna, and Deputy Station Manager Damilola Ogunsheye. He said that the delegation expressed gratitude for the minister's support and discussed several key initiatives aimed at elevating aviation services in Nigeria. Moshood noted that during the meeting, Air France KLM expressed appreciation for the improved facilities at Murtala Mohammed International Airport, particularly acknowledging the enhanced experience at Wing E. He said the airline extended gratitude for the minister's leadership in fostering a smoother relationship between their team and various aviation regulatory agencies. Operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency have intercepted 3 trailer loads of opioids at Abule Ado in Amuwo Odofin local government area of Lagos State. This is contained in a statement by the NDLEA Director of Media and Advocacy, Femi Babafemi, made available to newsmen in Abuja. Babafemi also said that 3 suspects were arrested in connection with the seizure comprised of 3,450,000 pills and 344,000 bottles of codeine syrup. He said the multi-billion naira consignments were loaded into 40-feet container trucks and another 20-feet truck at the AML bonded terminal, Abule Oshun, near the International Trade Fair Complex. The NDLEA Director of Media and Advocacy said the trucks later headed to a warehouse at Abule Ado, where NDLEA officers eventually arrested the suspects and recovered the opioid consignment on May 9th. Police operatives of the Federal Capital Command have busted a car theft syndicate that specializes in stealing vehicles from Abuja and taking them to Lagos to sell. FCT Police Commissioner Benneth Igwe disclosed that luck ran out for the gang when a victim whose car was stolen in Abuja traveled to Lagos for an engagement, only to see the stolen car of his friend at a car stand put up for sale. He subsequently alerted the victim to come to Lagos and check the car. On getting to Lagos, he confirmed the car to be his stolen Toyota Camry and informed the FCT police. CP Igwe said police detectives deployed to the scene discovered that the original chassis of the stolen car had been changed. The car was recovered and criminals arrested. The suspects will freely confess to the commission of the crime, will be charged to court soon. Exhibits were recovered from the suspect include the sum of 2,230,000 naira amongst others. INEC on Monday prayed the Kogi Governorship Election Petition Tribunal sitting in Abuja to dismiss a petition filed by Social Democratic Party and its candidate Muritala Ajaka against the victory of Governor Usman Ododo. Governor Ododo and his party, the All Progressives Congress, have also told the 3-member panel of justices headed by Justice Ado Brenin Kudu to dismiss the petition in its entirety for being incompetent and lacking in merit. The trio, through their lawyers, Kanu Agabi, Joseph Daudu, and Emmanuel Ukala, stated this position while adopting their final written addresses and presenting their arguments against SDP and Ajaka's petition. However, Ajaka's lawyer, Pius Akubo, have urged the tribunal to discountenance the respondents' submissions and uphold their petition. The tribunal, after listening to all the parties in the petition, reserved the matter for judgment. It will be recalled that the Ajaka had challenged Ododo's victory in the November 11, 2023 Kogi governorship poll. Analysts have emphasized on the need for the federal government to elaborate with states to improve on its internal security measures. Speaking on Atlantic blowout, a political analyst, Owari Hart, lauded the effort of the military and also stated that the current insecurity rocking the nation could be traced to some politicians in the country.
Success to release of the students, and we need to do more when it comes to the aspect of security, because the problem we have in this country, I cannot say, and I don't want to lay an allegation to say these things are money games, because sometimes I find out that people need to spend money to make money. That is what they are doing. Otherwise, we can always secure our areas if actually we want to secure our areas. Out for the real thing. You find out that most of the people arrested too that are these bandits, most of them are security agents. They have that, you know, they do tip-offs, they give guns to these people by making money. So these are things the government need to look into and ensure that all.
Similarly, Elite Ekie asserted that the rising insecurity may as well stem from the corridors of power in a bid to justify vote funding.
Security votes became lucrative to governors, to local government chairmen. The issue of insecurity has been on the high increase. And of course, when there is no insecurity, you cannot really justify the issue of security votes. So possibly it could be artificial that these things could be stage managed to ensure that governors, local government chairmen, and those who have access to security votes really justify the essence of the security.
Recall that the Nigerian army has said its troops have rescued the 9 abducted students of the Confluence University of Science and Technology in Osara, Kogi State. Nigeria Police has promised to continue to go after criminals operating in the Federal Capital Territory and would not fail to bring them to justice. Commissioner of Police Bennett Igwe paraded no fewer than 10 suspects for various crimes such as car theft, armed robbery, one chance amongst others at the FCT Command's headquarters in Abuja on Monday. Items recovered from the suspects include 6 cars, 2,230,000 naira, 2 locally made cartridge rifles, 1 locally made pistol, 1 locally made rifle, 10 live cartridges and 6 live ammunition amongst others. The CP explained that one Anthony Chibuzo and another stole 3 cars from the FCT and transported them to Lagos, where they were sold with fake plate numbers. He called on FCT residents to report cases of car theft while reiterating the command's commitment to getting them back. The CP also commended residents of the FCT for providing vital information to the police and appealed for more citizen participation to eradicate insecurity in the nation's capital. Governor Francis Nwufuru of Ebonyi State has successfully cleared the lingering gratuities of Ebonyi workers from 1996 to 2023. Disclosing this in a statement, Jude Chikadibia Opo, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Information and State Orientation, stated that the last batch of retirees scheduled for payment of gratuities by Governor Francis Nwufuru-led administration have received their payment. Recall that Governor Nwufuru had before now promised Ebonyi workers that the processing of gratuity of a potential retiree would promptly commence once he or she proceeds on pre-retirement leave. The governor therefore called on Ebonyans to continue to reciprocate His Excellency's good gestures through prayers and loyalty to his administration, as his government girds loins for better gestures in favor of Ebonyi people. Niger State government said it had secured a 500 billion naira loan for the construction of 1,000 kilometers roads across the state. State Governor Umar Abago discloses while performing groundbreaking for the construction of an 84-kilometer dual carriage Mina-Bida road. The road is a major economic route linking the southern and northern parts of Nigeria, as Bago assured that the government was ambitious in embarking on the road project. The ancient Bida town, popular with blacksmith craftsmanship and a local economy, has been plagued with underdeveloped economy due to the poor road leading to the town from Mina, the state capital. The immediate past administration had earlier awarded a contract for the construction of the road in February 2020, however, was able to deliver only 7 kilometers before its exit in May 2023. Factors such as poor funding and non-compensation have stalled the road construction as commuters continue to count losses incurred during avoidable accidents. However, while speaking at the event, Bago said the continuation of the road projects brings a sigh of relief to the people, adding that funding has been secured for the actualization of the projects. Governor Caleb Mutfwang of Plateau has appreciated President Bola Tinubu for the 997 metric tons of grains donated to Plateau to alleviate the sufferings of the indigent and vulnerable. Mutfwang extended his appreciation when he received the palliatives on Monday in Jos. The governor said Tinubu's gesture was a demonstration of care and concern about the plight of the vulnerable. Mutfwang said that his administration was determined to tackle poverty and by the grace of God ensure that all farmlands were cultivated to be able to maximize the blessings God has put in the land for the Plateau people. The governor announced that in addition to the palliatives the state received from the federal government through NEMA, the state government would add to the basket 26,979 bags of 25 kilograms of rice onward for distribution across the state. He hoped that the distribution would go on seamlessly, transparently, and honestly and reach the vulnerable. He warned against selling the items as anyone found culpable would be punished. University of Ilorin has announced the promotion of 40 of its senior academic staff to the rank of professor. According to the university's bulletin issued on Monday, the elevation was approved by the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Maman. The publication stated that the 40 distinguished scholars were found to have excelled in the realms of teaching, research, and community service, and subsequently promoted to the highest rank obtainable in the academia. The breakdown of the beneficiaries of the promotion exercise shows that 11 of the new professors are from the Faculty of Agriculture. The bulletin disclosed that 2 lecturers from the Faculty of Clinical Sciences were also elevated to the rank of professor, while the Faculty of Communication and Information Sciences also produced 2 new professors. At least 3 people have been killed during a fight which erupted between rival gangs in Damanawa Quarters, Taroni local government area of Kano. The fight broke out on Sunday evening after one Mohammed Barde, 59, organized a Gangji event, a cultural event for local hunters to celebrate the wedding of his children. Thugs had taken advantage of the activity to engage in a supremacy battle in the area, with many of them armed with dangerous weapons, and within minutes a fight broke out. Police Public Relations Officer in Kano, SP Haruna Kiyawa, who confirmed the incident, said the police responded to a distress call and dispersed the armed hoodlums. However, a few hours after the fight continued among the armed thugs, leading to a confrontation with the police. The police commissioner, Usaini Gamel, ordered immediate arrest of the organizer of the event alongside 2 others, stating that investigations would commence soon. A soldier identified as Yahaya Ayuba Zubiya has been reportedly killed while his stepmother was abducted at Anguwan Rimi village in Zango Kataf local government area of Kaduna State. A family member, Mr. Kanti Oksoloman, confirmed the sad incident to newsmen on Monday. According to him, the soldier arrived from Lagos on Sunday evening and the gunman entered the house while he, the soldier, was having a discussion with his family members at the palace. When contacted, the Kaduna State Police Public Relations Officer ASP Manse Hazan did not respond to calls and text message sent to him by a correspondent. You're watching the Global News on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN. From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains,
President Bola Tinubu has pledged to continue working towards ending gender-based violence and increasing learning opportunities for girls in safe and conducive environments. Speaking at the launch of the Organization of African First Ladies for Development, We Are Equal campaign in Nigeria, President Tinubu emphasized the importance of education in empowering girls and promoting gender equality. President Tinubu, who lauded the initiative of the OFLAD for the campaign launch, noted that it had been successfully launched in 15 other African countries, adding that its launch focus in Nigeria, titled Education as a Powerful Tool for Change, is critical for Africa's development. He commended the African First Ladies for their commitment to advancing gender equality and narrowing the gender gap in opportunities and appointment across Africa. The president also praised his wife, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, the First Lady of Nigeria, for her efforts in championing education as a primary tool to advance gender equality. President Bola Tinubu has sworn in 2 commissioners for Ogun and Osun State as members of the National Population Commission. The 2 commissioners Fasua Johnson from Ogun State and Honorable Amidu Rahim from Osun State were sworn in just before the Federal Executive Council meeting commenced in the council chamber on Monday. The short ceremony, which entailed that citations being read and oath of allegiance being administered, was witnessed by the Vice President Kashim Shettima, the Chief of Staff to the President Femi Gbajabiamala, and the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, Cabinet Ministers and other government officials. The development follows a two-day MPC's management retreat held in Uyo, the state capital of Akwa Ibom, last week. The MPC is the principal data mining commission of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, responsible for collecting, collating, analyzing, and publishing data about the Nigerian people and economy. Speaker, House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas has reiterated the dangerous effects of sports betting and gambling in the country, with many Nigerians as victims of its trend. The Speaker stated this at a public hearing on a motion adopted by the House on the need to curtail the dangerous effect of sports betting and, by extension, direct the National Lottery Regulatory Commission to comply with the Lottery Regulatory Commission Act 2005. Honorable Abbas, who was represented by the House Leader Julius Inhoberer, said this will enable the House to take further legislative measures to stall the situation.
In the ever-changing world advanced by digital innovations, people are on a daily basis engaging in highly risky games, such as sports betting or gambling, by staking their enormously treasured possessions, such as money, gold, houses, other possessions, hoping to make accidental gains and chancing to get them back in multiple folds. This dangerous indulgence is becoming more and more prevalent in our country, with many Nigerians, particularly our youth, becoming increasingly addicted to such acts.
Earlier in his welcome address, the chairman of the committee, Honorable Kanis Nwachuku, said submissions of invited stakeholders present will aid recommendations on the matter before the House.
The leadership of the National Assembly, with all your contributions, will be considered at the end of the day. We'll have a clinical and a first-class report, which will be assembled so that it will help us to move Nigeria forward. We are not here to scatter the system, but we are here to see how we could make it work.
Yeah. In his presentation, Director General National Lottery Commission Larry Waju Gbajabiamila, who was represented by the Director Licensing and Operation of the Commission, Obi Oyeremo, differs from the Speaker's position on the effects of gambling, stressing on the benefits.
The oil producing communities in our nation have experienced environmental degradation and socio-economic marginalization as a result of decades of oil exploration and exploitation. The bountiful natural resources should have been a source of prosperity and development, but in the stead of prosperity, these communities have instead suffered from pollution, land degradation, loss of biodiversity, and deterioration of traditional livelihood that are inestimable and irreparable. It's in the light of the above that we have enshrined in our laws and statutes certain obligations of maintaining basic principles of environmental protection, social equity, and corporate accountability, which behoves on any company seeking to explore our natural resources to adhere to.
In another development, the House of Representatives has observed the degradation and socio-economic marginalization faced by oil producing communities in Nigeria following decades of oil exploration and exploitation. The House, through the Joint Committees on Environment, Petroleum Resources Upstream, Petroleum Resources Downstream, and Climate Change, said the abundant natural resources should have been a source of prosperity and development. Rather, the host communities have suffered pollution, land degradation, loss of biodiversity, and deterioration of traditional livelihoods that are inestimable and irreparable. Chairman of the committee, Honorable Julius Pondi, during a public hearing on the need to investigate the service and unprecedented environmental damage within the oil producing communities, insisted that steps must be taken to address the effects of this menace on the people. National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies holds a one-day policy dialogue on reducing the cost of governance. The aim of the dialogue session is to facilitate an intensive discussion by key stakeholders and experts to reflect on the cost of governance and the dissatisfaction and frustration by preferring solutions to the challenges of governance in Nigeria. President of the Senate, Senator Godswill Akpabio, was represented by the Senate Committee Chairman on GAS, Senator Jarigbe Agbonjarigbe, said the causes of high-cost governance in Nigeria were the size of bureaucracy, excavating public service waste bills, overhead costs of appointee of public officials, salaries and allowances of selected officials, and the running of government institutions, and therefore need to be addressed properly.
We are all aware of the financial burdens faced by our government, the size of our bureaucracy, the escalating public service wage bills, the overhead cost of appointed public officials, the salaries and allowances of elected officials, and the running of government institutions. These are some of the substantial components that the experts say contribute to weighing down our economy and hindering our development efforts. But fear not, for today will only be a blessing to the present generation, but also shape the future of our nation. Our aim is not only to identify the challenges, but also to find practical and sustainable ways to overcome them. I am a firm believer in the power of unity and collective action. I believe that there is no wall in this country so high that united we cannot bring it down. Together, we can rise above the challenges we face and pave the way for a brighter and more prosperous.
Speaker, House of Representatives, Honorable Abbas Tajuddin, also represented by the Deputy Minority Leader, Honorable Aliyu Madaki, said the dialogue will provide means of reducing cost of governance in Nigeria, working towards accountability and transparency, ensuring that efficiency and service deliveries are not compromised.
There is no denying the fact that the escalating cost of governance in Nigeria has become a matter of grave concern for all stakeholders. The citizens are rightfully worried about the increasing burden that government places on our already strained economic resources. It is imperative that we address this concern with a sense of urgency and purpose. The calls for reduction in government spending resonate loudly across the nation, and it is incumbent upon us as leaders to heed these calls responsibly. We must adopt measures that streamline our expenditure in line with the prevailing economic realities. This requires a concerted effort to eliminate wastage, inefficiency, and unnecessary expenses from our budgetary allocations. With the executive branch to ensure that the cost of governance is reduced considerably in Nigeria, where we are obligated to pursue through our legislative process relevant to cut government spending is to streamline committees to perform their oversight effectively and to improve the capacity of House committees on public account and finance to effectively engage MDAs on their finances. As we embark on the journey to cost cutting, we must tread carefully to ensure that efficiency and service delivery within public sector are not compromised. It is essential that any austerity measure implemented do not undermine the quality of service provided to us.
While
let me say, in looking at the cost of governance, especially the one that has to do with operational aspect of governance, talking about overhead, talking about the personnel cost, what you call recurrence. Over the years, we observed that when budget is being made, we have two components of budgeting. We have the capital, we have the recurrence. You observe that a huge amount of those funds have been expended on recurrence, overhead, things like vehicles, training, wage bills here and there. And the federal government thought we can't continue as a country like this. We cannot grow as a country like this. And it becoming a recurring issue, becoming a worrisome development, where you spend trillions on such overhead, on such cost of governance is not something we can keep on grappling with. Something drastic needs to be done. We need to cut down cost of governance. And I've been up and down in terms of conversations, in terms of the ability to implement. And we just thought, as a think tank of National Assembly, and as a think tank of the democratic institution in the country, established by an act of parliament, we need to make our own contribution from the point of knowledge. Convoke a dialogue session, invite notable, seasoned academics, administrators, experts. Let us look at the issue very well. Let us put into serious critique. Let us look at the merit and demerits, of the Orosanye report. Let us even look at the other areas that the Orosanye report did not even look at. And let us, aggregate opinions of scholars and practitioners in these areas and come up with something that we can channel into governments.
Presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 presidential elections, Peter Obi, has paid what close associates describe as private visits to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido in their Abuja homes. Details of what was discussed during the visit are still shrouded in secrecy. Atiku first announced on his X handle that Obi, who was his running mate during the 2019 presidential election, paid him a visit, noting that he was always delighted to receive him. A close associate of Obi disclosed that he paid a similar visit to Sule Lamido. Federal government is to embark on a comprehensive review, restructuring and reform of the National Youth Service Corps to meet the demands of the future. Minister of Youth Development, Dr. Jamila Ibrahim, stated this at the opening ceremony of the maiden meeting of NYSC management with heads of core producing institutions in Nigeria, held at the National Judicial Institute in Abuja on Monday. According to the minister, over 5,000 core members will have their entrepreneurial futures funded with up to 10 million naira. He further explained that they envisioned a future where the NYSC programs are not only self-sustained, but also a revenue-generating program within the next 5 years. To achieve this, and would institutionalize the NYSC ventures as an investment and asset management outfit. On his part, the Director General of NYSC, Brigadier General Yushau Ahmed, while welcoming the heads of core producing institutions, said the meeting is aimed at enhancing the mobilization process of prospective core members. Civil suit has been instituted against lead British International School Gwarimpa Abuja by Nabitra Abwala, a student who was bullied by her fellow students in an incident that went viral on social media a few weeks ago. The lawsuit filed at the High Court of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, seeks damages of 500 million naira against the school for its alleged negligence in providing a safe and conducive learning environment. According to the lawsuit, the school failed in its obligation to protect Bwala from physical and emotional harm, and also failed to inform her parents of the incident until the video went viral on social media. Thus, the lawsuit is seeking, among other things, a declaration that the school owes a duty of care to its students and that its failure to prevent the bullying and inform Ms. Bwala's parents amounts to negligent conduct. The plaintiff also wants the courts to make the following declarations: that by virtue of the claimant's studentship in the defendant's school, Lead British International School, Gwarinpa, Abuja, the defendant owes the claimant a duty of care to protect her from any physical or emotional harm, as well as any breach of her privacy, while under the defendant's custody and supervision. Now to business news. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, said interest rates would remain high until inflation rate comes down. Cardoso stated this in a Financial Times report on Monday. The CBN boss also said orthodox policies would be implemented to tame inflation. He said there is every indication that MPC will do whatever is necessary to rein in inflation. Cardoso said the Apex Bank had been reoriented to focus on price and monetary stability. He said the official window of the foreign exchange market has been stabilized. According to the governor, investors previously had a tendency to head for the window in response to currency fluctuations. However, there has been a fundamental shift. He noted that high interest rates would not linger for too long and act as a disincentive to investment and production. Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has announced its commencement of the 2024 Nigeria Petroleum Licensing Round and resumption of 2022-2023 with 12 oil blocks for offer. This was contained in a statement by the Commission Chief Executive, Benga Komolafe, issued in Abuja. According to him, this licensing round marks a significant milestone in our commitment to fostering sustainable growth and innovation within the energy sector, while providing economic opportunities for our investment to spur new exploration and development activities within our petroleum landscape. He explained that the 2024 licensing round represents an opportunity for both domestic and international stakeholders to engage in the exploration and development of Nigeria's hydrocarbon resources. Commenting on the offer of 12 blocks, he said, in line with the objectives of the licensing round, the offer comprises a diverse range of exploration prospects and discoveries with varying technical and operational preferences. NUPRC, he said, is committed to ensuring that exploration activities are conducted in a manner that minimizes carbon emissions and mitigate environmental impacts. Now to international tidbits. Iraqi government has requested the termination of the United Nations Assistance Mission for Iraq operations by the end of 2025. A statement by Prime Minister Mohammed Shia al-Sudani said, based on the findings by the UN-formed Independent Strategic Review Team, Iraq's request for UNAMI to end by 2025 is a timeline sufficient for a responsible closure. According to the statement, the Iraqi government anticipates a UN Security Council resolution by the end of May in response to Iraq's request and the Independent Strategic Review Team's recommendations. UNAMI is a special political mission established in 2003 by UN Security Council Resolution 1500 at the request of the Iraqi government. Its mandate is to prioritize the provision of advice, support, and assistance to the government and people of Iraq in advancing inclusive political dialogue and national and community-level reconciliation. Russian President Vladimir Putin has removed his long-standing ally Sergei Shoigu as defense minister as the war with Ukraine rages on. The Kremlin announced the 68-year-old has been in the role since 2012 and is to be appointed Secretary of Russia's Security Council. Papers published by the upper chamber of the Russian parliament said Shoigu will be replaced by Deputy Prime Minister Andrei Belousov. The Kremlin said the defense ministry needed to stay innovative. Russian government papers revealed that Putin wants Shoigu to take over from Nikolai Patrushev on the powerful Security Council. Reports, however, disclose that it is not yet clear what Patrushev's new post will be. Britain's King Charles III officially handed over the role of Colonel-in-Chief of the Army Air Corps to Prince William on Monday, in a rare joint engagement with his elder son and heir. The head of state joined William at the Army Aviation Center in Middle Wallop, southern England, appointing him Colonel-in-Chief of his younger son, Prince Harry's old regiment. The 75-year-old monarch's decision to hand the role, which he held for 32 years, to William 41 was seen as a snub to Harry when it was announced last year. Harry is a former Army captain and served as an Apache helicopter pilot with the Army Air Corps in Afghanistan. but he has become estranged from his father and brother since leaving the royal family in early 2020 and moving to the United States with his American wife, Meghan. The king, who announced he had cancer in February, is receiving treatment. He said the event was bittersweet, as it was a great joy to attend, but sad to hand over the baton after 32 years. Sunday disclosed that the parent has been arrested. He, however, stated that the Edo State Police Command would cancel the parents rather than prosecute them. Reacting, Simi faulted the police for choosing to cancel the parents instead of prosecution. Here now is ATN Sports News. Minister of Sports Development John Eno has unveiled Finidi George as the new head coach of the Nigerian men national team, the Super Eagles. The minister unveiled the former Super Eagles forward at an event in Abuja, attended by the leaders of the Nigerian Football Federation on Monday. Super Eagles head coach Finidi George will earn 15 million naira monthly salary, it has been revealed. Finidi was presented to the media at the conference room of the Moshood Abiola Stadium, Abuja, in a ceremony attended by the Minister for Sports, Owa Eno. On Monday, had refused to reveal how much he will be earning. However, according to reports, the 53-year-old will be paid 15 million naira, making him the highest paid indigenous coach ever in Nigeria. His 5 assistants will, however, be entitled to only allowances and other bonuses. Finidi will lead the Super Eagles out for the first time in a substantive capacity against South Africa in 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium, Uyo, on Friday, June 7. The Super Eagles will take on Benin Republic in Abidjan 3 days later. Nigeria National League has announced a shift in the date of the Super 8 playoff tournament. The tournament was initially scheduled to hold from May 23rd to 30th at the Nnamdi Azikiwe Stadium, Enugu. The competition will now hold from June 7 to June 14, 2024 at the same venue. NNL Chairman George Aloa made the announcement in a chat with the league's body media on Sunday. Aloa said the shift in date became necessary because of the President Federation Cup round of 32 matches, which will be determined that week. He noted that the shift in date, notwithstanding all modalities for a successful competition, has been put in place, just as he commended the Enugu State Governor, Peter Amba, and the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Barrister Leod Ekuremadu, for example, on Tuesday, May 28, for their 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifying fixture against the Bafana Bafana of South Africa. The players were earlier scheduled to arrive camp on Saturday, June 1. The team will now converge in Uyo 3 days earlier to begin preparations for the crucial fixture. Finidi George's side will take on Bafana Bafana at the